Alright. What's crazier? That we're already to the divisional round of the playoffs, or that the Cleveland Browns won a playoff game? What's poppin', y'all? It's your man, Cloudboy Bales, and welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports. So, we had a wild weekend of wild card games, and just like that, it sets us up for the divisional round, where finally we get to watch the Packers play a playoff game, and we get to watch some incredible games take place. Of course, last weekend was incredible. I didn't do the best with my predictions last week. I went 3-3. And you know what? It's all right. Some things happened that I didn't expect to happen, but that's what happens. I mean, I'm no expert, but these are my predictions because this is what I think about things. But we have some real good teams that I think have a shot at the Super Bowl. Obviously down to the final 8, we're really coming down to a good stretch, and I think it's going to be really exciting from here out. Packers really have it in the bag. Chiefs could have it in the bag. Bills could have it in the bag. We don't know what's going to happen. So that's what these playoffs are for. Things could happen. Upsets could happen. You never know. So, honestly, let's get to the video. So, starting off, we have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Green Bay Packers. Of course, I figured I'd start about talking about my team, of course, because I love the Packers. This is an actual really interesting game. Thinking of it, I did not want to go into this game playing Tampa. I didn't want to, because I think that would have been scary, because coming out of the bye, I don't think we would have been prepared. At the same time, I would have rather played the Rams, but here's something that might scare me a little bit. You think the Rams aren't that good, because I've been really doubting them all year. And they're a great team. I get that. They're very well coached. They have young talent. They're trying to rebuild, but I don't really see them trying to rebuild. I think they just know how to be really well coached. The thing is, their defense is honestly one of the best in the league. Aaron Donald is probably the best pass rusher and probably the best defensive player in the league ever right now. I mean, he's top. He could even be considered top 5. I mean, that's how good of a player he is. And then you got Jalen Ramsey is going to be matching up with Davante Adams. Ramsey, if you haven't really followed, Ramsey is likely, even though I love Jaire Alexander, Jalen Ramsey is the best cornerback in the NFL. I cannot debate that. But he's going to be matched up with Davante Adams. And if you saw the last previous matchups, Jalen Ramsey has been able to shut down DeAndre Hopkins and DK Metcalf three times. So those matchups, if you've seen the numbers, he's been able to really shut down those guys. So it's going to be a tough game for Davante Adams. I can definitely agree with that. The thing is, Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP because he knows how to get through. This is the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense. Packers are at home. They obviously have Aaron Rodgers. They have the cold as an advantage, and that's obviously going to make way. Obviously, the weakness of the Rams is their offense isn't really fantastic. And the weakness of the Packers is if they end up coming from behind, I don't think they'll be able to catch up, because a lot of the games we've had a lead, and that's how most of the games have been. We haven't really had a game where we had to come from behind. Of course, the only game that was against the Buccaneers, and we just completely gave up. For what I know, Packers at home, this is playoffs. they had enough rest, and I think, the Packers know that this probably is the year that they can make a Super Bowl. This is the year they have to do it. It's this or that. It's this or that, because after next year, everybody knows it's rebuild time. So from what I believe, the Rams are they're a sleeper team. Absolutely, they could upset them, but from what I know, the Packers, from the way they've been playing this year, from the last 2 months, the last month especially, this is a team that is really poised to, I think, win some games. So of course I'm going to take the Packers, I'm always going to take my team whenever I want to. So if I know it's an obvious loss, just like last year against San Francisco, I picked San Francisco to win because I was like, I knew we didn't have a chance. But this game, I know we do. I mean, I know we're a way better team than we were last year. That's all I'm going to say. So anyways, I'm going to take Packers winning a very close game, low-scoring game. And yeah, that's that. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Buffalo Bills. So this is an interesting matchup, a very interesting matchup. Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson won his first playoff game ever, so that's a big historical thing for him. But they're going to be playing the Buffalo Bills, who, in my opinion, have an offense that is absolutely lethal. Josh Allen's having a career year. And I think Buffalo is the most dangerous team in the AFC if you think of it. The thing is, the Ravens have been playing so much better. At one point in the season, they were 6-5. A lot of people were thinking the Ravens were overrated, but if you looked at their schedule, you knew they were going to win out. They somehow were able to win the last 5 games. They went 11-5, and they made the playoffs. They beat the Tennessee Titans in a rematch. Technically, they played themselves this year, and Tennessee Titans won this wild game. And then this time, the Baltimore defense just shut down Derrick Henry, and Corey Davis benched himself, and honestly, that was just an embarrassing way to go out to end the season. Tennessee just, I think, wasn't really ready. I think they need to really revamp on their defense. Everyone knows that. But I'm not going to talk about that. I need to talk about this matchup. But yeah, Buffalo, they played a close game against the Colts, as I predicted. Came down to the end, and the Buffalo Bills won this game. But you got to give credit to Phillip Rivers that this was his last year in the league. Congratulations on a successful career. And Colts definitely got a future if they find the right guy at quarterback. That's for sure. Titans, I'm sorry. Ravens, maybe they could do it. I think the Ravens, they've been playing a lot better. At the start of the season, after they got blown out by the Chiefs, I was just sitting there like, this team is not Super Bowl worthy. They're not a team. Lamar Jackson just can run the ball. He hasn't been able to pass. Even in this game last week, he didn't even look that good. And then he didn't even throw a touchdown. He was running all over. Their running game is really what makes the Bills, what really makes teams suffer. The Baltimore Ravens running game with Lamar Jackson, rookie J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards can really run all over you. If your defense is like allowing them to run all over you, you basically don't stand a chance. Buffalo has a fantastic defense, so this game is going to be a little bit trickier, and I think this is probably the best matchup and best team they really faced since then. I don't know if these two teams faced in the regular season. I can't remember. I don't really remember the regular season that much, but for what I believe, Buffalo, I keep saying Buffalo is going to be the team to definitely beat in the AFC, and I still stand by that. Obviously, I know Baltimore's going to fall at some point, and they're going to have a bad game. Everyone's going to rip on Lamar Jackson. We all know that's going to happen at some point. So, of course, of course, my prediction is I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. I think they have a legit shot at a Super Bowl this year. So next up, we have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be a very interesting game. A lot of people are saying Cleveland will upset Kansas City. I don't know why you're going to jump into it that much, but Cleveland, that was a great statement win against Pittsburgh. I mean, proof Pittsburgh was overrated from the beginning. Cleveland just had themselves probably the most memorable game ever. Pittsburgh almost came back. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but I think it wasn't enough. Cleveland just was ready for this. They were ready. No coach, no nothing, but they got it through, and they won. So you got to give credit to Baker Mayfield and that Chiefs, that Browns defense. Now on the Kansas City Chiefs, they had the bye. They're coming back, and they're going to be playing a team really fired up and ready to compete. So this is going to be really tough. The Chiefs, they struggled a little bit. When you saw Patrick Mahomes play, he hasn't really done the most fantastic things. I mean, he got 3 touchdowns against the Saints, and, he really relied on the run game later on, but, he's been able to win these really prominent games, and Patrick Mahomes has just done some things, but you saw that game against the Falcons. He did not look good at all. So are you really going to be ready for Patrick Mahomes to do? I mean, everyone's calling and saying Patrick Mahomes is going to win another Super Bowl, and that could happen. But Cleveland might be a test. This might be a team that actually upsets the opponent. Because they have that mentality. The thing is, Cleveland's defense, Cleveland's defense is subpar good, subpar bad. They can be really great at times, and then other times they can just be completely bad. And then sometimes Cleveland's offense can be super good at times, and then super bad. This is a very subpar team. Their point differential is under. I don't know why that is, but, somehow they were able to win their games. But the win they had probably is most memorable thing that they'll ever have in their life. It's been years since they won a playoff game. We all know. But I feel like obviously the defending champs have a lot to look forward to. This could be a chance where, an upset could happen. But from what I see, I don't know if this Browns team is quite ready yet. So as of right now, I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs because I feel like they have a lot in the line. If they want to repeat, I think they have a better offense than they did last year. I feel like if they want to repeat, I definitely believe that they got to do it. So I'm definitely going to take the Chiefs here winning this game. And to finish up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints Part 3. So, of course, the first 2 times New Orleans played this team, New Orleans basically made Tampa Bay look like fools. Now, from what I've seen from New Orleans recently, they've kind of looked a little more bleak and quiet. They haven't been the offense that I really see them being. I don't know what's up with them, but things are looking a little bit bleak. Don't know why. But Tampa has actually played really well. I know their defense hasn't been fantastic, even though they have star talent. But obviously, Tampa Bay's offense is just purely Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski. It's just full of stars. Tom Brady's really set up to do this again and win another championship. Could he do it? Maybe. But New Orleans, they've really demolished them the last 2 games they played them. Week 1, and I forgot what other week that was, but I mean, a lot of people forgot that other week they were shut out at home by the Saints. A lot of people forgot that. Breeze just made sure of that. It was really tough. At Tampa, they struggled a little bit. They lost a lot of games that you never really thought they'd lose. They had, ending the season 11-5 is great, but they lost a couple games that, you know, they really looked back and they were like they shouldn't have lost. But this is a team that I think, you know, in the last couple of weeks, their offense has really looked like the offense that people expected them to be. You know, the Saints have a really tough task ahead of them. And it's going to really be tough. If the Saints, you know, come through and win this game, you know, that's going to be meaning a lot, because that will prove that the Saints were all really better than them. Tampa, you know, if you know, this is Tom Brady. This is the playoffs. Tom Brady, you know, he wants another ring, and he's got talent that he can do this with. Drew Brees, this is likely his last year in the league. You know, I love watching those two guys go at it. You know, these are two legends, breaking records, doing crazy things. And it's a crazy thing that, you know, this year or next year, you know, it's going to come to an end for both these guys. So it's an unbelievable run it's really come down to that. So I don't really know what to say here. I'm really puzzled because I don't even know what's going to happen, because things have changed in these last couple of weeks. We saw a Saints team blow out the Bucks, and everyone was like, oh, Tampa Bay's overrated. They never were that good. And then all of a sudden, Tampa Bay's offense just looks purely loaded, and they've been just demolishing defenses, and now they're playing the way that people expected them to be. And then you look at the Saints, and their offense has just been kind of quiet. From what I believe, I'm not going to lie, but I'm actually going to pick Tampa Bay to actually win this game. Because, as I said before, I don't ever bet against Brady. I can't. It's just a tough thing. It's rare to see me bet against Brady. But knowing how the Saints always choke in the playoffs, I just know that I have to pick Tampa Bay. They want, you know, a lot of people forget, Super Bowl's in Tampa Bay this year. They basically host. If they get to the Super Bowl, they're gonna. I think it's just this is gonna be a crazy game. I can tell you that, because Tampa Bay has a home field advantage for this game. So that's what's even crazy. So, from what I know, I think they're gonna do whatever they possibly can to get their Super Bowl game at home. So I'm actually going to pick Tampa Bay actually beating New Orleans and New Orleans choking. It'll be a close game though. I will agree with that one. But never bet against Tom Brady. I will never. I'm just saying that. So that's that. So just like that, that's my video. Obviously, I'm excited to see what happens, and hopefully the Packers make it on to the next round. It's going to be an exciting matchup. Obviously, these all are exciting matchups. And, you know, it's going to be really exciting to see what happens next and who advances to the AFC and NFC championship game. And then just like that, we got ourselves the Super Bowl. And it's crazy enough that this season is already coming to a close like that. Yeah, it's crazy. So if you like what you see, subscribe below. I'll have new content out whenever I can. And you know what? It's going to be an exciting time. If we lose or not, if we lose, that's it. But who knows what will happen. So anyways, this is your man, Clubboy Bales, signing off. Stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go Pack Go. We'll see you next time.